Hey, what's up everybody? This is Mr. 008 here, and today I have for you a video for testing out the Degree 100 Master Builder, the new Engineer Paragon in the Challenge Editor. So I'm using Cubism for this test because it's the same map I used for the Degree 64 that I tested not too long ago. And we are able to do this in single player courtesy of Geraldo and his Paragon power totems. And even though there are no more glue rats in his mustache, he's still pretty strong. So let's go ahead and get this Degree 100 Engineer Paragon right here. For some reason it's Degree 99. I guess I just forgot to put the new totems down, so let's go out and go back in right here. So there are two new totems we can put down. Let's upgrade now and sell the towers that we do not need, because I don't want anything else to affect my score in this challenge, like what round we get to before losing. So I did learn more about the mechanics. Don't worry about those sentries, they'll disappear pretty quickly. I did learn more about the mechanics of the new Paragon by watching a couple of videos about it, and also by looking at the I believe it's posted on Reddit under the Popology section, or like the Popology mega thread on the BTD6 subreddit. So, it is available there to check out. So, let's get our other sentries to help out. So, I learned that there is an overclocking effect, well, technically an ultra boost, that the Master Builder automatically applies to itself. It does not work on the sentries or on any other towers. However, it does apply to itself, and it does so automatically every round for up to 60 rounds, I believe, and after that the effect is maxed out. So there is a bug, courtesy of ISUB. I learned this courtesy of his Engineer Paragon testing video in Sandbox, although his test was on logs. But because of his video, I now know that there is a bug with the Master Builder. Hopefully it's been patched, but I'm not going to bet on it. That when you hit retry last round in the challenge editor, it automatically undoes the ultra boosting effect that the Master Builder has applied on itself. So you need to wait 60 more rounds, and thus if you lose on one round in Sandbox, you will be guaranteed to lose again, because it will be weaker next time around. And the sentries unfortunately do not benefit from the overclock. It's only the Paragon itself and its main nail attack. So let's take a look at this and look at how good the graphics are on this thing, especially the Paragon itself, and just how awesome it looks at Degree 100. And if there's one positive thing I can say about this Paragon, other than the ultra boosting of itself and the cool sentry mechanics, it is the fact that that it has really good artwork and visuals. So I'm happy about that in this update, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this tower fares in bosses and also in free play when combined with other strong towers in the late game. So for today, we are going to just see how powerful this thing is by itself, and hopefully it will be quite strong and we can make it past round 200 or so. That's my minimum goal, is round 200, so hopefully we do get there and not have any problems with getting past it. So that fortified bed made it to the end of the horizontal, or like the end of that straight line segment of the map before getting popped. And the pinning effect is really nice and effective, especially against DDTs because of how fast they are. The pinning is only applied by the main attack, the nail guns of the Master Builder himself. His sentries do not apply that effect, so make sure to keep that in mind when using him. Also, another thing to take into account is that there is not that much incorporated from the bottom path. I mean, there is the pin and the double gun, technically, if you look at things that way, but there was no bloom trap, and also along the middle path there was no cleansing foam. There was no way to remove camo properties from Bloons using this tower. So it's a little bit interesting, but I think that it would still be pretty balanced with those things given how expensive it is. I mean, it's even more expensive than the Ascended Shadow, the Navark of the Seas, and all of those towers. So I think that it should be a little bit stronger given how expensive it is. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Ninja Kiwi comes up with for balancing this Paragon a little bit. So I'm not going to spoil too much. I do not know how far it's going to get. I have seen it tested on logs though, and I do know how far it got on there at degree 100. But let's do Cubism for today and stick to that. So, also as far as the update is concerned, what do you think of the update overall? Like from 1 to 10, let's say. What would your rating be for it? With 1 being like it's totally lackluster and there's nothing good about it, and 10 being it's like the best update in BTD6 history by a significant margin. So where would you put this update? I personally would give it probably, I'm going to say 9 out of 10. I'm going to give it, because we got contested territory, we got teams, and we got this new Paragon. The only complaint I really have about the update is that this Paragon is relatively underpowered for its price based off of what I've seen from other people's tests. So let's continue conducting our own test and see how far it gets. And I will be putting out some more videos for you guys about the update and about new features while continuing my existing series for map guides and all of that. Also, I'm planning on starting up like a tower versus series, sort of, where we run some quick tests in Sandbox and like we pick like 5 different rounds, we'll say, to put one tower up against, and then we pick the same 5 rounds for another tower of a similar price, but with a different kind of role, or a different kind of niche, different specialty, sort of, and we see which tower comes out on top. And we would of course test both against regular Bloons and Moabs, and if it's expensive enough, Bads, Super Ceramics, and all of that. So let me know what you want to see in that series, because I do have some ideas. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do yet, but like maybe something like Master Bomber versus Glaive Lord, or one of those towers versus the Tack Zone, because one of those, the Master Bomber, is especially powerful against Moabs. Glaive Lord is powerful against Bloons, not so much against Moabs, and the Tack Zone is like right in between in regards to like being able to do decent work against both Moabs and Bloons, but not specializing outright in popping one or the other. So something like that I think would be cool. Let me know what your ideas are in the comments. And so far we are having no issues, and it's round 158, so I'm looking forward to seeing how far we get with this. So with the degree 1, I got substantially far in in my previous test, or no, that wasn't degree 1, it was degree 64. And this was on the same map with the Paragon in virtually the same spot. So I think I have switched up the sentry placement a little bit in this video, but the main Paragon itself is in the same spot. So I'm looking forward to seeing by what margin we'll beat that score, and hopefully it's a margin of at least like 20 rounds, we'll say. So I'm not going to give any spoilers regarding how far I got in the previous test with this Paragon at a lower degree, but I will put that video in the comments. I'll put a link to that video from this one in the comments of this video when I upload this video, and you guys will be able to press that link and go watch that video if you have not done so already. So stay tuned for that, and that is if you have not watched that video already. If you have, that's fine too, and I am really happy when people do stumble upon my videos, because I know that my videos do not get lots of views. At least now they don't, but I am hoping for and betting on a large future on YouTube. It's not going to be like my career choice or anything. For those of you who don't know, I'll tell you a little bit more about myself. I'm currently an undergraduate student. I'm not going to say which school I go to because I don't want people to know where I live. It is a school in the U.S. though. I've lived in the U.S. all my life, so I will say that, because it's not too specific. But yeah, I am going to a college or university in the U.S., and I am about to be a senior, and I am studying astrophysics. That is my major, and I'm also studying some Spanish. That's my minor. And I am doing more than I have to do, because given that astrophysics is credit intensive, I do not have to have a minor. But given my prior exposure to the Spanish language growing up, having Spanish neighbors from when I was born until I was about 7, or Spanish speaking, I should say. I don't know if they're from Spain or not. I'm pretty sure they're not. But they are Spanish speaking and of Hispanic heritage, so it was nice to be able to learn some Spanish from them. And it was also nice to play some games, both video games and like use flashcards and other things like that to learn more about Spanish. So I am definitely looking forward to my career-related future. I definitely want to study cosmology and planetary science. Those are my two biggest interests. So let me know what your interests are, like what you are doing for your career or what you are studying to become for your career. And it can be anything. Just let me know in the comments, and I'd be happy to know more about all of you who are watching, just like I'm sharing some more stuff about me. And that is probably for the long-term fans who are watching this video. I guess that astrophysics isn't too surprising that you're hearing that I'm studying it, given my long-term interest in it and my size comparison videos that I've uploaded on my channel. Speaking of which, I would like to make more size comparison videos in the future, and I am planning one for this year. I'm not going to go too much into details because I don't like to give away too many details and then something gets in the way and then people are like, oh, what happened? You were supposed to upload this then, like at that time, like you were supposed to upload this in 2022, what happened? Like, I don't like when people get like that. I can understand why they would, but I want to make sure that I'm being completely straightforward and correct in what I'm saying. So I'm not going to give a release time for that, but just know that it's in the works. And I am planning on featuring some new planets, stars, and galaxies that I have not featured in any of my previous comparisons, so stay tuned for that. And moving on to something else, let me also say that there are a lot of things that interest me. It's not just astrophysics and Spanish and gaming. I also am interested in some other subjects, including but not limited to marine biology, which I've loved since I was in like 1st or 2nd grade. I really love learning about sharks, dolphins, whales, all the big sea creatures out there, but also some of the smaller ones I like learning about a little bit as well. Pardon the notification that just popped up on the top of my screen. I forgot to disable those before this video, so I will have to edit that out before uploading this video, but it shouldn't be a big deal. And yeah, so far we're on round 178, and we have the Bloons have gotten a little far, so I'm not sure how long we're going to be able to last, but hopefully we do last quite a while. And let's go ahead and do this. It's not really much of a reposition, but we have to do that if we want to move any of the, or either, I should say, of the other sentries. So, let's see. Red one's in a good spot. I like where it is. I have also seen video footage. I'm not sure if this was intended or a bug, but supposedly the red sentry cannot pop purple balloons, and I find that kind of odd, given that all other Paragons in the game can pop all balloon types, whether it be camo or non-camo, or lead, purple, or black, white, zebra, DDTs. It doesn't matter what kind of balloon it is, it can be popped by normal type attacks, as Ninja Kiwi calls them. So I find that a little bit odd that we cannot pop purple balloons with the red sentry Paragon specifically, given its projectiles do look sort of like those of the anti-balloon, but still, like, and the anti-balloon even pops purples, even though its projectiles look pretty plasma-like. So I find that a little odd, and I am eager to know what Ninja Kiwi can tell us about that, whether it's intended or a bug, and if it is intended, why might it be intended, especially for the most expensive upgrade of all in the game, unless you count the Vengeful True Sun God, in which case that would technically be a little bit more expensive, because it's 500,000 plus the cost of the anti-balloon and Legend of the Night, whereas the Master Builder is 650,000 on medium, I believe. So it's a little bit interesting how it cannot pop all balloon types with its mega sentries. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying, I have enjoyed reading about marine biology and things like that ever since I was in like 1st, 2nd grade or so. And also I enjoy nutrition, sports medicine, things like that. I enjoy, although I'm not going to talk about this on my channel, I enjoy talking about politics and things like that as well. So yeah, I just have a wide variety of interests, and I also enjoy certain sports, although they may not be the sports you would expect. Or not team sports like soccer, basketball, things like that. Like they're too mainstream for me, and I'm not big on mainstream sports. What I am big on, though, are other sports, like Ninja Warrior. I love to watch Ninja Warrior competitions, and also I enjoy Tang Soo Do martial arts in particular. I haven't watched like Tang Soo Do tournaments or anything like that, but I do enjoy actually practicing the art. So yeah, that's one of my favorite things from an athletic standpoint as well. I enjoy playing basketball and soccer, but I don't enjoy watching them because I feel like it's too redundant to watch. But when I'm playing them, it's fun. And also another sport that I really like, in fact probably the only sport that I like both watching and training in, two sports technically, but they're pretty similar in certain regards, pretty different in other regards. And those are powerlifting and strongman. Those are a couple of other sports that I really enjoy. And I prefer strongman over powerlifting, to be honest, because I don't like a lot of powerlifting rules, such as allowing arches on bench presses, and also I'm not a fan of sumo deadlifting counting as the same thing as conventional. I'm not against sumo in general, I just don't like how two different lifts are counted as one and the same. So that's my opinion on powerlifting. Strongman, on the other hand, I like it for like almost everything in it, and almost everyone in it as well. I enjoy the athletes and watching them compete and perform and put up big numbers. And my only real complaint about it, other than a few like small things here and there, is that there are not a lot of gyms that have strongman equipment, so it's kind of hard to train for the sport because it's not something that is all that common yet, at least. Like, it's more popular than it was when I started following it, which is in 2016, 17 maybe, but it's not as popular as I'd like for it to be just yet. So, getting back to the video and the subject here, we're on round 194. So, we're pretty close to round 200. I'm happy about that. Looking forward to seeing how we do against the two fortified beds. What I'm going to do, I don't think I'll need to move this sentry right here, so I'm just going to put it like right there. It's pretty much in the same spot, but the reason that I did that is so that if I need to move the red or the blue sentries, I'll be able to do that more steadily, more readily rather, I'll be able to have a quicker reaction time because the ability does not instantly recharge. It takes a little bit of time, but it is pretty quick, so I do like that. So it's good to have that available for if we need it. So these beds are getting a little far, and I'm not sure if that means that we're going to have an issue beating round 200, but let's try and beat round 200. And we'll probably be able to, I think, especially if we micro pretty heavily, and I'm willing to do that for round 200. So, yeah, we'll just need to micro the green sentry and its plasma accelerator-like attack, as well as the, because the sentries do explode, as well as the Paragon sentries or champion sentries that are spawned by them do explode and deal heavy damage when you deconstruct and then rebuild it in a separate spot. So if we need that extra damage, we can get it by doing some decent micro, and that will be helpful for us. So let's see what we want to do. For now, I'll just go ahead with round 199 as usual. and we will start round 200 right after this. So I'm going to turn off auto start, just so that I can get that extra fraction of a second with the plasma accelerator sentry locked onto the fortified beds when they spawn, and we should be good to go. So let's go right here, and let's see how we do. So it's at 20% damage so far, which isn't really that much. Let's see, it's at 60 now, 80, and the first one is popped, so that's good. And now let's see how we do against the second one. So it's looking very, very close, and I don't know if we're going to get it. So we do pop the DDTs right there, which is good. Let's see. So we'll speed up a little bit. Hopefully there's no pierce capping here. That will happen. Nice. We do beat round 200 with the degree 100 Engineer Paragon. So I am happy about that, and let's see how much farther we can go. So I will do a little bit of micro here, but not too much until I see another fortified bed, which honestly is where I'm expecting to lose. But let's see how far we can take this. Okay, there's another fortified bed, but it's only one, so we'll see. And my phone is starting to lag a little bit. Unfortunately, I think if I was playing on the Steam version, this would not be an issue. But let's see. So these beds, even the regular ones, are getting pretty far. But then again, we can't target all of the balloons on screen at a time. So it's going to be pretty tight here. ZOMGs are already turning towards the exit, but we do pop all of the balloons, and we did lose lives. So I think a super ceramic did leak there. Yeah, so unfortunately, even with the pin and the fast attack speed and high pierce, that does happen sometimes later in the game just because of how insane the ramping gets. So let's just keep going and see how far we get. Again, please excuse that notification. But yeah, we're almost ready to wrap up here, but we'll see if we can get to maybe round 210. We'll see. That's my next milestone I'd like to reach, is 210. But here's a fortified bed, and again, these are very difficult to handle. Not impossible, but difficult. Alright, no issues there. I think it's just going to be when we see two fortified beds. I think I underestimated the power of the Master Builder a little bit when I said that one fortified bed would kill us after round 200. It would need to be at least two that are substantially spaced apart. But let's see how we do here, and hopefully we do not have any issues with that round. We do not. Alright, round 207, pretty easy as well. .208, we have 3 beds up front and 1 fortified bed towards the back, and let's target strong right there, and hopefully that will make things turn out a little bit better. Switch back to first now. So it looks like we are going to lose here. Unfortunately, this micro is terrible because my device does not like when I drag and drop, even though I have that turned on in settings. But there we go, round 208, which is not bad. I'm still satisfied with the result. and I don't think that more micro would have made too much of a difference. It may have, though, given the high damage that the Sentry explosions do. So that's going to wrap it up for today's video, you guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And we got 377 million pops with the Engineer Paragon here. So it's pretty nice to see, almost 2/5 of a billion pops. So it's nice, and we'll see with future balancing if we can get any farther with this tower alone. So that's going to wrap it up for the video. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more interesting content. And I will talk to you all again in the next video. Peace out.